Hello everybody, welcome back to Practically Perfect in Every Way. 皆さんこんにちは。 Practically Perfect in Every Way へお帰りなさい。Today is a Saturday evening. Today's a Saturday evening. Today's a Saturday. Right now it's Saturday evening. I've had a very, very chilled day today. My boyfriend was over for Thursday and Friday and he stayed over, so I had to drop him off at the train station this morning. So we woke up really early and went to the cafe to get some pastries and I got chai latte. And then after that I went to the gym and then I got home and I just spent time with my flatmates just doing puzzles and like watching movies. I watched this movie called The Sinners. We haven't finished it yet, so I can't really speak on it, but I was unsure. I was quite confused. I think I just have a terrible literacy, is that the word? In terms of like really artsy movies, I sometimes get really confused when movies are like not very straightforward and they have so many scenes that are really artsy and like I just really get confused. So probably it's for people who understand the art of film. It's a great movie, but for me it was a bit confusing. But obviously I haven't finished it yet, so we'll see. 今日は土曜日です。今土曜日の夜なんですけれども、今週はですね、木曜金曜で彼氏さんが遊びに来ていたので、今朝土曜日の朝に彼氏さんを駅まで送りに行って、でそのついでにね2人でカフェに行って朝ごはん食べてみたいなのをして楽しかったんですけど、その後帰ってきた後はずっとクラットメイトたちとのんびりパズルをしながらいろいろぐったらしていてであとねセナーズっていう日本語でなんていう映画なのかちょっとわかんないんですけど、セナーズっていうグラミー賞とかにもノミネートされてるのかなわかんないんですけど映画を見ました。なんとなく混乱しました私多分なんかすごく芸術性の高い映画とかを見るとついていけなくなっちゃうんですよね。多分だからそのシナーズもいっぱい芸術的なシーンがあったと思うんですけど、ちょっと私にはよく分かんなくプロットがよく分かんなくなってきちゃうということもございましたがまあそんなこんなで今は土曜日の夜一人なのでこれを撮ろうと思います。Today in this episode I'll be talking about long distance relationships. I don't know if you've listened to my previous episode on my relationship, but I experienced a year-long long distance with my current boyfriend. The reason why I decided to talk about this today is because my boyfriend and I are celebrating a 4-year anniversary very soon. He is my first ever proper boyfriend, so it's kind of crazy for me to be celebrating this, but we were like looking back on the 4 years that we've been together, and we were talking about like genuinely how did we do a year without seeing each other once? That's crazy. So today I just really wanted to talk about it. 今回の、エピソードでは遠距離恋愛についてお話ししようと思います。私と今の彼さんは遠距離恋愛をしたので1年間ねしたんですけれども、なんでこれを話そうかと思ったかと言いますと、あとちょっとで私と彼氏さん4年目を迎えるんですね。4年の記念日なんですけれども、でこの前なんか4年間を振り返って2人でなんかちょっといろいろ懐かしいねって話をしてて、そこでたまたま遠距離の話になって、いやよくあんな1年もやってお互いのこと1回も会わないでやったよねみたいな話をしてたので、 ということで今日はちょっとその遠距離恋愛について話したいなと思います。To give you a little context of why we did long distance, for how long we did long distance, yada 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 yada. Basically, me and my boyfriend met in Scotland when I was doing my study abroad in Scotland, and obviously my study abroad was a year-long program, so after that I had to go back. I think we only got to spend 5 months together in Scotland, and then after that I went back to Japan for a year. During that year I finished my degree, and I was also applying to master's degree and loads of scholarships, and then a year later I came back to Scotland to do my master's, and that's why I'm still here. But for that 1 year that I was doing finishing my degree and stuff, we were completely long distance, and at that time we were both obviously I was a student, and also my partner just bought his flat, so we were both kind of not struggling but tight on budget, so we really couldn't buy tickets to fly over to each other, so we did not see each other once, and that was kind of crazy, but yeah, that's what we did. ちょっと実際何が起きたかという話をしますと、私はスコットランドに留学をしている時に今の彼氏さんに出会ったんですね。で、やっぱり留学は1年間だけの期間限定のものなので、留学の期間が終わったら帰んなきゃいけなかったんですよ。で、多分実際一緒にいたのは5ヶ月ぐらいで、5ヶ月経った後私は日本に帰って遠距離をしたわけなんですけれども、でそこで私は1年間かけて、自分の大学を終わらせて卒業して、でその間にマスターの応募とか奨学金の応募とかをして、で1年後にマスターを始めました。なので、1年間がっつり遠距離をしたわけなんですけれども、当時私は学生だったからそんなお金もなかったし、彼はちょうどフラットを買ったばっかだったので、自分のねフラットを、なので2人とも結構お金カツカツで、そんなお互いのところに飛ぶお金があまりなかったので、1年間お互いのこと一切お互いに会わずに過ごしたんですよ。そんなことがありましたとさ。So today I wanted to talk about some of the things that I've learned through my long distance relationship, and some of the reasons why I think I was able to get through it and go over it. And I know that for people who are doing long distance, a year means nothing. A year of long distance is nothing compared to those who have been doing long distance for years and years and years. So I absolutely do understand that, but I just thought for some people who's never done it before, it might be something. There might be something that you can take from my story. So yeah. ということで今回は、遠距離をしていく中で、私が学んだことというか、こういうことやったから遠距離うまくいったのかなとか思うことについてちょっと話そうと思うんですけど、まずディスクレーマーじゃないですけど、他の遠距離をしている方からしてみたら1年間なんて本当いやもう遠距離したとも言えないぐらいだよっていう感じだと思うんですけれども、それは勝手に承知の助で分かっているんですが、でもね、もう何年もやってる方からしたらそう思われると思うんですけれども、でも少しでも誰かの役に立ったらいいなと思うので、今日はお話ししていきたいと思います。 One of the first important thing I think for a long distance relationship, this is I believe I'm going to give you the most important fact I think to succeed in a long distance relationship, and I think that is to have a plan. Have a plan on how you guys are going to end it. Who's going to move to whose country, or are you guys going to meet meet in between and move to a third country together. Who knows? But make a plan on how you're going to end the relationship. I feel like, you know how people explain like running? When you're running, even if it's a marathon, if you know that there's a goal, you can actually do it. A lot of people can actually do it. But when you let runners run forever and ever and ever and not tell them how long they have to run for, they give up. And I think the same thing goes with long distance relationships, that if you have an end date and end goal and ending plan, you really do, you really can go through it and you really can put up with it. Whereas if you don't have a plan and you're just doing this back and forth all the time and you're doing long distance for years and years and years without a plan, I think that's when it kind of fails. So for me, I actually knew that I wanted to come back to Edinburgh to do my masters even before I met my boyfriend. Like, that was my plan because I fell in love with Edinburgh so much. So even before I met him, I knew that I was going to come back, and my plan to come back was to do my masters here. And yes, it was a brave move. Like, who knows, I could have been rejected from my master's degree or rejected from my scholarship, and the plan could have fallen apart, and I absolutely am aware of that. But eventually that was one of my ways of coming back, and because I knew that I was going to be back within a year or two, I think for us it made the long distance a lot easier. まず私が遠距離をするに対して必ずもうとっても絶対これ大切って思うのが、必ず終わりを決めておくことなんですよ。例えば片方の人がどっちかの国に移るとか、2人が別の国に移住するとかわかんないですけど、とにかく何かどうやってじゃあこの遠距離を終わらせるのか、そしていつ終わらせるのかっていうのをちゃんと決めておくと、かなりそれで成功率が上がると私は個人的に思ってるんですけど、でも多分遠距離してる人結構言うと思うんですよね。それが一番大切って。で、私もそう思ってて、例えば結構これよく聞く話だと思うんですけど、これランナーこう走る方長距離走る人に、マラソンって大変じゃないですか。42キロ42.7何キロ走るのってすごく大変だけど、42キロで終わるっていうこう目標ゴールがあるからみんな走れちゃうんですよ、意外と。でもこうランナーの人にじゃあ走ってくださいって言って走らせて、でもどれくらいでいつ止まっていいのか、いつがゴールなのかっていうことを伝えないと結構簡単に人って諦めちゃうらしいんですよね。それと一緒で、多分遠距離もここでもう終わりにするよ、こうやって終わりにするよっていうちゃんとした明確なプランがないと、ずるこうお互いの国を行き来してるとか、そんな状態だとなかなかやっぱりこう努力が続かないというか、エネルギーが続かないというか、なので私はね一応自分の中でプランしてたつもりなんですよ。私はもうエディンバラ、彼に出会う前からもう必ずエディンバラには戻ってきたいなと思って、でその一番いい方法が多分マスターをやることだろうなとは思ってたんですけど、でもそれ以上思ってたから、もちろん帰ってくる予定ではあったんですけど、結構無謀なプランというか、もしね大学院に落ちたりとか奨学金に落ちたら多分成功してなかったんですけれども、たまたまそれが全部通って戻ってこれたからよかったけど、こうプラン A プラン B といくつかねプランを作って、必ず帰ってこう2人が同じ地に戻れるようなプランを立てておくのはすごく大切かなと思います。Second thing I think is really important when in long distance relationship is to communicate. And I know that communicating is important in any kind of relationship, friendships, family, romantic relationship, anything. But when you're in a long distance relationship, it's more than important to communicate, because in my experience, you don't get the time to talk to them for hours and hours and hours that often, and you obviously don't get to see them face to face and touch them, and people can communicate a lot through their body language and their facial expression and things like that, or touch, and when you're deprived of that, your words matter a lot. The way you text them, what you're telling them, what you're not telling them, little things like that are so important. So me and my boyfriend, when we were long distance, we had, I think, 8 to 9 hours of time difference, which was very annoying because it's Japan and Scotland. But before we went long distance, we made a little chart of Japan time and UK time. And we kind of picked out hours that we would probably be able to talk. And so every single day I woke up at 6 a.m. to talk to him, to call him, so that I would be able to call him when he was done with work. And basically I'll wake up, call him as he was saying goodnight to me and things like that. And then if he stayed up late, then maybe I forgot how it went. I forgot how it was, but if he stayed up late, I got to talk to him once more during the day. But yeah, twice was as much as I could talk to him. But when I got to talk to him, we would tell each other about our days. We really spoke to each other almost every single day. And we really tell each other like what happened in the day, how we were both feeling, and little things like that. We talked about everything, and that was really important. And luckily my boyfriend was very good at communicating with me about everything and anything, and he would tell me where he's going, who he's going with, when he's home, little things like that he would tell me, which was, I don't know, it was a great way to build trust, because I knew that he wasn't lying to me when he tells me that he's out somewhere with these friends, because he sent me pictures and stuff, and that was really nice. Not that I ever really doubted him of doing something ridiculous when I'm not there, but it's just kind of nice to know what was going on. And I know that not everyone wants to communicate our way. I know some people only call once a week. Some people can only call once a week because of their job. I don't think it's really the frequency and the volume of communication, but it's really the quality of communication. Like, you really need to be aware that they're not right in front of you, they can't touch you, they can't see your facial expression if you're texting them. You really need to be aware of, like, think about, like, what would the other person feel if they hear about this, or if they see me saying good night but without any emojis, little things like that I really put my effort into making sure that it was good. もう一個私が遠距離恋愛で本当に大切だと思うのはコミュニケーションです。これはね、遠距離じゃない近距離恋愛でもお友達との関係でも家族との関係でも大切だと思うんですけれども、特にね遠距離恋愛は顔が見えないことが多いからこそ、やっぱりテキストでやることが多いじゃないですか。だから顔が見えなかったり、お互いのボディーランゲージで伝わることとかもすごく多いと思うんですよ。ボディーランゲージとか表情とか、そういうところで伝わらないことがいっぱいあるからこそ、なんかその言い回しとか口調とか、こう WhatsApp でこうメッセージを打つときにこう言ったら分かってくれるかなとか、こう言ったらこうなんていうの、怒ってると思われないかなとかを気をつけてメッセージを送ってました。で、あと私たちは遠距離を始める前になんか表を作って、日本とイギリスの時間の時差を並べた表を作って、この時間とこの時間なら 話せるねみたいなのを決めといて、毎日その時間になったら電話をかけてました。これはね人それぞれだと思うんですよ。1週間に1回電話すれば OK っていう人もいれば、毎日必ず電話してたいっていう人もいると思うので、それはパートナーと相談して、何が一番自分たちのスタイルに合ってるのかって、電話しなさすぎて距離ができてっちゃうのも良くないけど、でも電話しようとしすぎて自分の私生活に支障が出ちゃうのも良くないし、そこはちゃんとバランスを取るといいと思うんですけど、私は当時パン屋さんでバイトをしてたので、朝すごく早く起きなきゃいけなくて、それがちょうどよくて、実は朝早く起きて朝の支度をしてる間、彼氏さんに電話をかけて、で出発して、でバイトが終わって帰ってきた頃、ちょうど彼氏さんが寝る時間だったので、そこでお休みって言って終わりにするみたいな感じで、ちょうどよくできてたんですけども、どれくらいの頻度かは置いといて、ちゃんとコミュニケーション、特に質の高いコミュニケーション、どこに行くのか、今日はここに行くから電話できないよ、ごめんねってちゃんと一言言っておくとか。私の彼氏さんはそれがすごく上手だったんですよ。私の方が逆に上手じゃなくて、結構教わったんですけれども、あと心配をかけちゃう時もあったんですけど、今日はここに誰々と誰々とお友達と行くから、だから夜ちょっと忙しいから多分帰ってきたら遅くて、リアが起きてない時間だろうから、今日は電話できないと思うっていうのをちゃんとね言ってくれてたので、すごいちゃんとそういうのを細かく連絡してくれたので、すごく信頼もしやすかったし、不安になることも特になく遠距離を終えられたのはすごく良かったかなと思います。Another thing that I really think is important is to enjoy the time you have for yourself. I think a lot of people talk about how sad and depressing long distance relationships can be, and I totally get that. It is sad. Like, I've cried multiple times seeing couples. Like, Christmas season in Japan was awful. Like, I wanted to see my boyfriend, but I couldn't, and everyone was like with their partners, and I was just like, ugh. But it's also, if you look at it from another perspective, once you're back together with your partner, you're kind of locked in. Like, you have your partner all the time to spend time with, which is lovely, but at the same time, when you've got that, you will probably have less time for yourself, for you to be selfish and do whatever you want. So when I was in a long distance relationship, what I really focused on was myself and spending time with my friends and my family, and obviously I was really busy with applying to masters and scholarships, so that kind of kept me occupied. But really cherish the time you have for yourself and spend as much time as you need with your friends and family, especially if you are planning to move away, and if you're planning to move to their country, to your partner's country or something like that, and you're planning to move away from your family and friends. It's going to be easier, it's going to be much harder to spend time with them. So use the time you have now where you don't have your partner around you and you have all these free time to yourself. Use that time to really spend it with the people you love, and also really spend it to do the things you love. Like, what's your hobby? You can go to a new, class that you've never been to before, or travel to another country that you've never been to. There are so many things that you can do whilst in a long distance relationship, and maybe only when you're in a long distance relationship. I personally saw long distance relationship as not as a negative thing. I saw it as almost having the freedom of being single but still in a relationship and having that sort of special connection with someone. I don't know, I think that some people actually with commitment issues tend to enjoy long distance relationship, and I think that says a lot. So I really recommend people to just embrace that time you have with yourself and time you have with your friends and family, and really take that moment in, because once you close the distance, whether you move away from your country or your partner comes to your country, you're going to spend more time with your partner, and the time you spend with your family and friends are going to decrease. So that's another thing that I wanted to mention. もう一個私が遠距離恋愛してる時にすごく思ったのが、遠距離恋愛っていいとこ取りなような気がするんですよ。実はすごくね、みんな悲しくて辛くて最悪みたいなイメージがあると思うんですけど、私は遠距離恋愛ってこうシングルな感じの独身のなんていうの、何でもできる、こんだけ時間があって全て自分が好きなことに使えるみたいな、そういうところがありながら、しかもどこかでこう自分のことを大切に思ってくれてる人がいるっていういいとこ取りができてると思ってて、なのでせっかくね、彼氏さんとかパートナーとこう使う時間がないからこそ、その時間を家族とか友達と過ごす時間とか、自分の趣味に使ったりとか、行ってみたいところに旅行に行ったりとか、とにかくこう自分のためにいっぱいいっぱい使うといいと思います。特にパートナーの国に移住する予定の方とかはやっぱりね、移住しちゃうとなかなか家族に会えなくなると思うので、家族とか友達との時間を今のうちにいっぱいこう貯金しておくじゃないですけど、いっぱい過ごしておいて、いざ移住した時にもうこう後悔のないように、こんだけ遊んどいたからもう大丈夫って思えるように、そんな風にはならないですけどいつでもね、家族と友達は恋しいですけど、でもね、少しでもそうやって寂しいなって思った時に思い出せる思い出が増えるように、今のうちに時間を楽しんでおくべきだし、これからね、遠距離を終わらせて2人で一緒に暮らすってなったら、いくらでもその彼氏さんと過ごせる時間はたっぷりあるので、こう彼氏さんと会えない時間をこう悲しむのじゃなくて、その分自分に与えられたこのフリーダムを満喫するのもすごくいいかなと思います。The last thing I wanted to mention kind of relates and goes back to the first point, but it is to really plan ahead. Like I've mentioned, it's really important to have a goal on like when you're going to end and how you're going to end the long distance relationship. But obviously to end it, there's loads of logistics and logistics and immigration that you need to consider, whether you're moving to your partner's country or whether you're moving to a different country together. I mean, obviously for people who are doing long distance in the same country, you guys are kind of okay, but especially for those of you who did international long distance like me, then you really need to plan ahead, look into the immigration rules. How can you move to another country? What kind of visa option do you have? Do you actually need to marry your partner to be able to fully move, or do you get to move with a temporary visa first, maybe a working holiday visa or something, to actually live in their country and see what it's like, and then tie the knot together? Because I think it is quite scary to give everything up and move to another country just for love. It's really scary. So I think it's kind of nice to move to another country, live there for a bit, to understand what the life is like there and see if that suits you, and then tie the knot. But obviously people have their own ways. Either way, if you're going to move countries to be with your partner, there's going to be loads of different documentations that you need to write or obtain. Maybe sometimes you need a certain proof of your relationship, of how long you've been together. You know, understanding the rules and prepping beforehand, making sure if there's something, I don't know, flight tickets or something that you can save so that you can prove your relationship, save all of them, and little things like that. It really pays off, I think. Or like if you want to apply for a temporary visa to go and visit them, and do, I don't know, working holiday in their country or something like that, look at the criteria. How much money do you need saved in your bank account to be eligible for the visa? How old do you need to be? Everything. Just look at them all. I know it is overwhelming, but those things are really important, and I've spoke about this in an episode of the reality of moving abroad, but this problem with visa just comes with you anywhere you go if you move across country. So please, if you're thinking of moving for love, look into the immigration rules, look into the visa options, look into different things. I really think it's really important to think about those things. 最後、私が、言いたかったのが遠距離恋愛に関してね、これは同じ国の中で遠距離恋愛をしている方にはちょっと当てはまらないかもしれないんですけど、私みたいに国際的な遠距離恋愛をしている方は特に多分国の移住っていうのがついてくると思うので、国をまたいで移住することがついてくると思うので、ビザのルールとか移住の仕組みとかを全てちゃんとチェックしていくのがすごく大切だと思います。イギリスとかだと例えばパートナーシップビザっていう結婚してなくてもこうもらえるビザ、パートナーがいますっていうことを証明したらもらえるビザとか、結婚したビザとか、パートナー関係なく来れるワーキングホリデーのビザがあったりとか、いろいろオプションがあるんですけれども、例えばそのパートナービザねは2年間付き合ってること、最低2年間付き合ってたっていうことをちゃんと証明できなきゃダメっていう基準が1個あったりして、ちゃんとだからお互いが一緒にいた間の証明できるもの、飛行機のチケットとか、お互いの国を訪ねた飛行機のチケットとかをちゃんと取っておく必要があるんですよ。そういうのも知らないとやっぱやらないじゃないですか。なのでもしお互いの国に移住するかもっていう可能性がある人は、ちゃんとお互いの国の移住のルールとかビザの関係とかいろいろちゃんと調べておくのは本当に大切だなと思います。めんどくさいし、もう難しいし、わけわかんないと思うんですけど、でも私はちゃんと自分がこの卒業ビザの話とか知ってなかったら、こうやってスコットランドに戻ってくることもこんなスムーズにねできてなかったと思うので、ちゃんと調べててよかったなと思うので、調べて損はないのでね、皆さんもし国を移住する予定がある方はそういう国の移住とかビザの関係の書類とかってものすごい量が必要だし、長い期間の資料が必要だったりとかね、そうやって2年前に付き合ってた証拠とか必要だったりとか、あとどれくらいお金が必要とか、貯金額がこれだけあることっていうのがクライテリアの一つにあったりとかして、前々から準備が必要だったりするので、今のうちから調べておいて損はないのかなと思います。Anyways, that was my episode on long distance relationship. I know it wasn't really romantic or anything like that. It was very realistic, but I think that's because I have gone through it and I know the realities of it. But I hope someone found this interesting / helpful. And if you have any of the tips on getting through a long distance relationship, do please send me a comment or write down in the comment and stuff like that, and I'm sure it will help other people too. And if you're going through a long distance relationship right now, you got this. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, and there will always be an end to it, and you will get over this and you will be reunited with your loved one. So do not worry, and if you want to talk about anything, don't hesitate to DM me, and I will always listen to you. ということで今回はここらで遠距離恋愛のお話は終わりにしたいと思います。 今ね恋愛じゃない遠距離恋愛をしてるという方も必ず先には光が待ってますので、暗闇の先には光が待ってますので、いつかねまた大好きな方と結ばれますように、あともうちょっと頑張ってください。少しでもね私の言ったことがためになればいいなと思います。そして他にも遠距離恋愛のこんなのことをやるといいよみたいなコツがある方はぜひコメントのところに残しておいてください。他の方も助かると思うので。Anywho, thank you so much for listening, and I hope you guys enjoy the song of the week after this. この後の今週の一曲もぜひお楽しみください。聞いてくれてありがとうございました。バイバイ。Today I'll be singing Cleopatra by the Lumineers. 今週は The Lumineers の Cleopatra を歌いたいと思います。I don't know where I learned this song, but oh my god, I love this song so much. I don't know, the lyrics are so sad yet powerful, and the melody, I don't know, everything about it just makes me shiver. It's so good. この曲どこで初めて聞いたかちょっと思い出せないんですけど、歌詞はなんかすごい儚くて悲しいのに、メロディーもなんかこう癖になる感じで本当に好き。もう鳥肌が立つぐらい好きな一曲です。I hope you enjoy. I was Cleopatra. I was young and an actress.When you knelt by my mattress and asked for my hand, but I was sad you asked it as I laid in a black dress with my father in a casket. I had no plans.Footprints, the mud stained on the carpet, and it hardened like my heart did when you left town. But I must admit it, that I'll marry you in an instant. Damn your wife, I'll be your mistress just to have you around. I was late for this, late for that, late for the for the end. I won't be late for this, late for that, late for the love of my life. But when I die alone